Hey fisherman, Aqua Duelist here. Quick disclaimer before the video starts. Because I'm a dumbass, I forgot to say it at the start of the video. Said at the end, but I forgot to say at the start. So it is, I think, like the 8th or 9th is the time I'm recording. I'm actually going on vacation in a few days, and I don't come back from that vacation till like Thanksgiving. So I just want to say, guys, real quick, there's gonna be no videos after this is up till after Thanksgiving. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video.
Wolf, we've got a green light on Operation Silent Serpent. Target is currently en route to Chicago via a subterranean drilling tank made by the Chinese during the Cold War.
What's the plan?
Intel says he's a threat to our organization. Once our target is traced to their destination, we'll strike during the cover of night.
Keep it clean, Raven. We can't afford any slip-ups. The client wants this to send a message.
Once he's out of the picture, our secrets stay buried. No witnesses, no loose ends. Clean as a scalpel, Wolf.
Keep me updated, Raven.
Roger that, Wolf.
Once the job's done, rendezvous at Extraction Point Alpha.
Silent Serpent is a go.
Once I have sight of the target, I'll be immediately taking them out once they enter position. I have eyes on him, taking the shot.
Hey fisherman, Aqua Duelist here, and holy shit, we are doing Melfys. Damn, this has been like a really long time since I've done anything on Melfys. For those who've been on the channel, when Melfys came out, I did deck profile on these guys. I did discussion videos on, just like texts and stuff. Like I did some Melfy content. I was very enthusiastic about this deck. Then the second wave of support came out. I played with it again for a little bit. Didn't do any content on it. And then we got the third wave. Still didn't do any content on this. And, I've been wanting to play these guys for months now. And quite frankly, I've gotten a bit bored of Sharks. So I spent probably about like a month or so, just testing and playing around with it. And so I had taken to my last locals. Deck did better than I expected. Anytime I go to locals with a new deck for the first time, or switch decks, I don't expect too much on my first go around. But yeah, this deck just did better than I thought, and I feel like I have a more sense of direction on where I want to go with it. Because Melfys is a toolbox deck. Standalone, the Melfys don't really do much. Like the main deck ones don't really do anything. The extra deck ones, they're not bad, but just they can't do anything on their own, really. Like, you need to have those toolbox options, and I feel like there's a lot of just undiscovered variants for Melfys. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this, and I could, I'll talk about some of the changes I'll probably do, and just, really go into this, because I really do enjoy these guys. One of my favorite decks that definitely came out within the last few years. So, starting off for the Melfys, I play 2 copies of Melfy Wally. So Wally, basically, all the Melfys have an effect where basically if they're targeted for an attack, or if your opponent summons anything, they bounce themselves back to the hand, and then they do different things. So Wally will actually summon 2 different Melfys from the deck. Next, I play 2 Puppy. Puppy will summon a level 2 from the deck, or a level 2 beast. And I play 2 Caddy. Caddy will add any beast from deck to hand when bounced back. I do feel like just running like the straight, 2-2-2 ratio on these is correct. In the way I feel about it, I just feel like those are the correct ratios. I feel like 1 Wally isn't enough, because, if they, negate it, it kind of sucks. And if you draw it, that's, awesome, you don't have to add this off of, Melfy of the Forest, so that's pretty cool. Was only, I think, one time in particular thinking about where I wish I had, a 3rd Puppy or, a 3rd Caddy, but yeah, I think just 2-2-2 of those is nice. Next up, I play the one Melfy Penny. So Penny, what he does is when a Melfy is returned to the hand, he'll special summon himself, and then you synchro summon using the Melfys that you have in your hand. He's water, which I think is really cool, so that does kind of open you up for some interesting options if, you know, you manage to get decent little amount of Melfys in the hand. So yeah, like, pretty cool options there. Next up, I play one copy of Fenny. Fenny will special summon a beast monster from my hands. I literally only used this once, and even in testing, it almost never comes up. I mainly use this as a target to summon off of like Rescue Cat or Obedience Schooled, which is also one of the reasons why I do play 2 Wally at times. Sometimes I kind of debate if I want to bump it up to 3 just for those, but then I feel 3 Wally is too bricky. So yeah, this is mostly, like I said, just for Rescue Cat or Obedience Schooled. So that's it for the Melfy lineup. Next up, so I play 3 copies of Rescue Cat. Rescue Cat is the best 1-card starter in the deck. Tribute him, or I'm sorry, you send him to the grave, and then you special summon 2 level 3 or lower beast monsters from your deck. Really freaking good. Basically 1 card in a Chariot Beast, 1 card Melfy of the Forest. Next up, play 3 copies of Nimble Beaver. Nimble Beaver is the other good normal summon that you play. 1 card Melfy of the Forest. This put in quite a bit of work. Absolutely love it. One point I had a game where I basically ended up going Nimble Beaver into Joyous Melfy, detached to attack direct, and then made the one Magician over it, and then Zeused my opponent. That was pretty funny. So yeah, like, I love this. Really good card. Next up, 2 copies of Calamatos here. So Calamatos, whenever he is summoned, you by the effect of a beast monster, you get to pop a card your opponent controls, which is pretty nice. Or I'm sorry, you target and then destroy it. So what's nice is the fact that it isn't just, you know, for monsters. It can basically remove back row, which is pretty cool. I love that it's got that versatility. So basically, this is your main summon off of Puppy. I did have a game where I opened this and Fenny, and that was the only time Fenny has really ever come up. So next up for the beasts, I do play 1 copy of Earhop Squadron. This is basically usually what I add off of Caddy. So I'll do like Puppy to summon Calamatos, then go into Caddy to get, or use Caddy to get this, and then I'll basically synchro Earhop with the Calamatos for a level 4 synchro. I just love this card. And for those who don't know, basically, because I did not explain the fact, I'm sorry, I'm a scrub. Basically, when if he's in your hand, quick effect, you can target a card you control, special summon it in synchro. So yeah, basically basically the non-Melfy version of Penny in a sense. Next up, I play 1 copy of X Saber Arabellum. Got that really cool dual terminal print. Absolutely love it. So this is here to summon off of Rescue Cat, basically to, you know, go into Nat Beast. Alright, so I got a little bit of spice here. I play 1 copy of, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this guy, because, you know, I can't speak Japanese, and I feel like I'm going to butcher this so badly to the point where people get pissed with me. So I never use this guy. Like, his effects are relevant. Never use it. I think I might have used it like once, basically. But it's like anytime your opponent, I think like summon something, or like they send a monster from field to grave, it gets like a counter, and then he can basically make a token and shit. He's literally here just for Obedience Schooled. So this way, for Obedience School, if I want to, I can make it. I can go Obedience School in Nat Beast. I do like having that, just the dual versatility here with these guys, basically making my best cards in the deck 1-card Nat Beasts. And I honestly do not regret doing this. This was one of the greatest things I did, and I don't regret it. Next up, for the last beast I play 1 copy of Alpha. So, the reason why I played him, because I would have side decked him, if you don't know his effect. If your opponent has more, basically the combined attack of all their monsters on the field is more than, the combined attack of what you have, you can special summon him, and then you can basically return any number of beasts you control to the hand to basically bounce that many monsters your opponent controls. The reason why I played one of him was when I was actually doing testing. I actually played a fusion package, and I was throwing this deck together for locals, and I couldn't find the fusion monsters that I wanted to play, so I basically had to last minute drop the fusion package, and I had 1 slot left in particular, and I was debating on this or Tiger King. Wukong, or that guy. We'll throw him up in there so you can see what I'm talking about. I ultimately decided to go for this, which I know some of you are probably thinking, why would I consider Tiger King? It's because locally, Tiger King actually hits quite a bit of decks when I think about it, when, in my local meta. So I felt like main decking one would be good, but I ultimately decided to go for this, and I do regret it. Even though I wouldn't be able to play mostly under Tiger King, what I would probably do is go, basically Caddy to Adam, then maybe summon off a Fenny, so this way I can still do stuff on my turn, possibly, to do things. But yeah, I do kind of regret not taking in the 1 Tiger King. So yeah, played this instead. It only came out 1 time, and I do side deck the other 2. So I would just like to move him to the side deck. So that's it for the Beast Monsters, guys. Dropped a few cards. Give me a second. Now, going on to the hand traps. 3 copies of Ash. Self-explanatory. Best hand trap in the game, or just in the game in general. And I play 3 copy of Effect Veiler. And then for the last hand trap I play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. So I play 9 hand traps. Pretty happy with this lineup. Just overall was pretty good. I love opening up double Imperm. It's just absolutely hilarious. So now for the spells, play 3 copies of Obedience Schooled, one of the best cards in the deck. So if you control no monsters, you can special summon 3 low 2 or lower beasts from your from your deck with different names. Their effects are negated and they're destroyed during the end phase. You are locked in the beast for the rest of the turn. What's cool is if your opponent decides to ash it, if you have a second one, you can just go ahead and activate it. It's just absolutely funny. I had that happen. Next up, played 1 copy of Melfy Hide and Seek, just to kind of recycle my beasts that were in the grave, and get that nice draw 1. Never used it. Quite frankly, I really do think this card is kind of cuttable. So yeah, it's just I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is one of the few spells they have that you'd actually want to consider playing, but even when I at locals, I never really wanted to grab this off of, Melfy the Forest, except for like one time, but by the time we got there, I had basically already ran through my beast stuff, so, you know, like, pretty much almost all my beasts, so it was kind of too late for it. I might keep it at 1 with some further testing. So, next up, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, came in clutch. 1 Called by the Grave, because we don't want to get, like, ashed and all that shit. So, that's it for the spells. Now, going on to the traps. I decided to play 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. The reason why I decided to do this was because I was too afraid of getting Dark Ruler No More and Forbidden Dropleted, because my last like few months playing Sharks, everybody and their mom is opening those, and then everybody seems to be opening Called by the Grave, and whenever I do Double Toad, they just call by the grave the 1 toad I use, and I'm just like, well, shit. So yeah, that was like literally, I tech these in out of fear for that, because I was just like, you know, this deck doesn't really do much on your turn. You want to do stuff on your opponent's turn, and if they just outright, you know, just say, oh, Dark Ruler No More, or Droplet, your Wally, you're kind of fucked. And just, it sucks. But nobody did that to me, like, at all. Nobody Dropleted me. Nobody Dark Ruler No More'd me. So, this is something that I'd really consider cutting. Other 2 cards my last 2 cards, I played 2 copies of Waking the Dragon, because everybody kind of knows that I basically play Judgment in just about everything now, and, you know, obviously everybody knows I'm playing Imperm, so I figured I'd throw in 2 Waking the Dragons, couldn't find a third, so, not sure where my 3rd copy is, I don't know why, but it never kicked off. So yeah, this is something like I definitely probably consider cutting. Like I said, I will probably just cut all 5 of these. I feel like main deck, like, I don't know, like, I feel like there's just way too much hidden potential or untapped potential with variants for this deck, because Melfy's is a toolbox deck, and there's like a lot of really cool things you can do that I think people just aren't doing. I know, like, there's the Chimera, there's the whole Chimera fusion package, which is a variant going around. And quite frankly, I don't really like that variant. I feel like it's one of the worst ways to really just play the whole Chimera fusion package. Like, I think it clashes with your, like, it just in general, I think, clashes with the best cards that Melfy has access to, which is like generic beast, you know, stuff, and, you know, and then it also eats up your normal summon, and I just think there's better options. So starting off for the extra deck, I'm playing 2 copies of Melfy the Forest. So you detach a material, add a Melfy card from deck to hand, and then if a face-up Melfy you control basically gets bounces back to the hand, you can basically negate a monster your opponent controls effects. So yeah, that's pretty freaking nice. Next up, I play 2 copies of Joyous Melfys. So you can detach a material from him. All Melfys you control can attack direct. And then quick effect, you can target a Beast XZ you control, and then return it to the extra deck, and then special summon level 2 or lower beasts equal, or from your graveyard equal to the number of materials it had. So if you manage to basically get like 2 Calamitoses in the grave, and this, you know, has like 2 materials, you can basically just pop two monsters on your opponent's turn. Or, you know, like, yeah, or, you know, just the 1 Calamitose, whatever. It's nice. I like it. The attack direct's really freaking good, and, you know, it's just so you can do Zeus stuff. I think it's kind of funny how when I think about it, like Melfys have their own in archetype board boat basically, and then this actually allows for a really cheeky play with Cat Shark, which I'll get to in a moment. Next up, I play one copy of number 64, Ronin Raccoon Sundayo. Basically just makes a big token, and I think it's like he can't be targeted for like an attack while the token's on the field, and the token just copies the attack of the highest monster. Came up one time at locals. I play one copy of number 2, Ninja Shadow Mosquito. This won me a game on its own. Really good card, love it. Game gets grindy, and then you just basically drop this. Your opponent doesn't, hopefully doesn't have the out, because, they just grinded through all their shit. This is just like the insta-win button for me. One copy of Cat Shark. So, Cat Shark basically, in tandem with Joyce Melfys, basically makes it where you can attack directly for 4,000, which is really fucking stupid. Yeah, that's just... I just think that's dumb. I'm sorry. Like, it's crazy to me. Next up, one copy of Downer Magician to help for, Zeus materials. And obviously, the one copy of Zeus. Because Zeus is Zeus. Zeus is great. That is it for the XC's monsters. Now, going on to the Synchros. I play one copy of Mary Melfys. So this will basically, when it's summoned, bounce a card your opponent controls. And I want to double check real quick to make sure it's just card and not monster. Sorry, it's face-up monster. So it basically targets and returns a face-up monster your opponent controls to the hand. And basically, if it gets like targeted for a attack and all, you can return it to the extra deck and special summon one Melfy XC's monster from the extra deck. So, yeah. One copy of Herald of the Arc Light. This is basically what I use to go into off of Ear Hop Squadron. Something a bit different. I played 2 copies of Naturia Beast, and I don't regret it. Like, just nobody expects the second one. It came up a few times actually, so I will definitely keep playing 2 in this deck. I feel like I feel like two's it for me, which I know a lot of people can debate, and just space-wise gets tight. Just 1, which I can understand. Next, I played one copy of Naturia Barkion. It's a little hard to make without playing like a level 2 Earth Tuner, which I'm gonna play the one tuner for the Mythical Beast, the level 2 one. I don't know why I just didn't include that over when I was talking about Alpha and then playing Tiger King. I don't know why I didn't think about it at the time, and I genuinely just felt stupid. I still actually happened to make this one time, I think it was. So yeah. Actually, no, I'm wrong. I didn't get to make it. Because Penny's water. My bad. So, but yeah, like, I didn't get to use it. I wasn't thinking. And then I played one copy of Naturia Externo as the Waking the Dragon target. So yeah, that's it for the extra deck. So going forward, as far as this deck is, like, honestly, it did better than I was thinking it would, but I still feel like it needs something a bit different. And the thing I was, just kind of thinking about, like, some things I'm considering is I still want to, like, do, like, a fusion variant, but that's not, like, the Chimera fusion package. I would definitely consider playing, like, a Gazelle and, Chimera fusion, because Chimera fusion is just a generic spell for beasts, and the fact that Melfys can easily just get to Gazelle I think is really cool, really insane. So I think that's pretty freaking awesome. But I would probably, like, some ideas I'm having is possibly, like, doing, like, a splice engine, you know, to try to push out some rank 2s and such. Another thing I was thinking of was doing, like, a small Ojama package, because I think that'd be, like, I'm surprised, like, I haven't seen that, actually. Like, why has nobody done Melfy Ojamas? Like, I feel like there's something there. I feel like there's some potential there, possibly. And, you know, I'm still looking around at, like, just generic beast stuff, trying to figure out where I want to go with this deck. Like, I feel like I haven't pushed this deck to its max potential. I feel like this was a good starting point, coming back into, you know, playing this deck, because, like I said, the last time I played was the original, you know, in the original wave of support, and the deck has definitely gotten a drastic increase in power since then. But I feel like I haven't gotten this deck to its full potential, and I still want to do a deck profile on it. So, with that being said, guys, last thing I gotta say is I'm actually going on vacation. So, there's not going to be any videos till probably the last week of November. It's, I think, the 8th as of time recording, and I'm leaving in a few days out of state. So, yeah, not coming back till basically Thanksgiving. So, yeah, it's going to be a while with no videos. So, I thank you guys so much for sticking through this. Go ahead and harpoon that subscribe button, guys. Really helps the channel out. Harpoon that like button. Comment any comments y'all have down below. And I will see y'all in the next video after Thanksgiving.